So that is up to him. So I'm going to check it. I want to see him. I want him to come.
And so, protesters and so the police have given the protesters so they have 36 minutes as protesters to be in the street. They have 36 minutes. It's already 3:26, so they'll be here up to 4 o'clock. And just at 4 o'clock, they will be told to leave the road now. As you can see, the officers are getting ready to clear Mulba Molu and his team. And he said by 4 o'clock they will be clearing the road. The protesters are getting ready. What will be their reply?
Yes.
Somebody buying right now.
So in 30 minutes time, the protesters were being informed that they will have to leave the traffic because they have been here about 2 hours.
It is very possible, very possible to see a president of the receiver t-shirt from protesters, angry, aggrieved protesters, security around who would have battled you as such because you don't know the intent of the protesters. It's not very difficult.
At 4 o'clock, we are expecting to witness a scene of clearance as the police have informed. So the police are now moving to the protesters. So the police are moving to the protesters. Protesters are throwing stones. Protesters are throwing stones while the police moving majestically. The protesters are moving, and they were instructed why stones are coming.
We actually have stone has been through.
The protesters are throwing stones now. So the protesters are moving. This is the protesters. These are the protesters. Why the officers of the Liberia National Police, or quote unquote joint security, are moving towards the protesting Liberians. And so let's watch out to see what become of it. The protesters are throwing stones. And they are so protesters are leaving easily, though they have sent some stones. Though they have sent some stones already. Protesters are throwing stones. Protesters are throwing stones. The police have not replied with any. Are throwing stones.
President Joseph Yuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, but also happy to be the spouse of the Speaker.
Other concessionaires is there. Another concessionaire is there. Another concessionaire is there. So no any company can be allowed to go to Green Crew. Our people are suffering. Our people in their villages, we don't get roads, we don't get water, we don't get anything in our company, in our county. These resources, since government cannot do all, are intended to improve the lives of the people. And that is why we were happy, excited, and work with the government to go into this arrangement. Unfortunately, the company is behaving like this. And I'm pleading with the Senate, the Liberian Senate, to use all of the apparatus that are with the responsibility to really call this company to a book, to a check, so that if they cannot really continue working with the government through this concession, it can be cancelled and given to another company that is prepared to go to Green Crew, so that our people can be relieved from the difficulty they are going through. The people of Green Crew are suffering. They are part of our counties closed, no road. And government cannot do all. You see all the other counties, the concessions we are carrying there, see how they are helping the government to improve the lives of the people. Green Crew people are highly disappointed. They are asking the Liberian Senate to do what they can, indeed, to bring this company to a book. Thank you. That's why I wrote the letter.
Three questions.
Yes, so thank you. My name is Archie Bowen, and I report for the Verity newspaper. Senator, thank you so much. Before bringing out this communication, were you able to have gone to the authority, regulatory authority like the Ministry of Mines and Energy, to know as to the status of this company?
We have invited the Ministry of Lands and Mines on many occasions. They will tell us either the company is not here or get.
Protest. not protest government here.
A few years ago, you guys have
That intelligent government here.
What did make it intelligent?
What say? What you trying to say? I try to tell you that just about that government here, not noise make here. Not no government here, man.
Why you saying that? Why you saying that?
So what do you say about the whole project beginning?
I just let it go sit down. The play was out. We will pepper them with that something.
No. Don't go. Why you telling them for?
People ready to protest.
People say they're coming.
People say they're coming, oh man, and they're getting plenty. They're getting plenty.
Why you have oh my people coming? So why you want to put a pepper there?
Why you want the police to pepper them?
They coming.
Oh yeah, okay, when they come. Okay, that's not what the bread. Why you going to the bread, man? Why you doing the bread? Why you getting the bread?
We are major.
So we see you. We see a lot of bread.
Where are grandchildren? Where are grandchildren? That time hear you about grandchildren bread.
Corona. But why you gonna do it around here? Why you gonna do it around here? Why you gonna do it around here?
Why you gonna do it around here?
I'm gonna go hide myself. I can't hide myself.
Okay. Where you working, sir?
Where you working?
Where you working, sir? Where you working?
Why you working?
Why you bring a brown protest? Where you working?
I'm not hiding myself.
Why you bring a brown protest, man?
No, man.
But where you working?
Where
you working?
Somebody say you can't join the protesters.
Where you working? Somebody say you part of them.
You can't join the people to protest.
You're not working, just taking pay.
Let me tell you. They government here. Now we are government. You said it now. Who they selling in your phone? The other government here. You will wait for it before you get it.
So tell me where you working?
So where you working?
Where you working here?
I'm working the economic franco.
Oh, economic franco? What economic franco? What are you doing there?
Indeed, pleasant. Good evening and welcome to the round table. Today is December 23rd, 2025. It's a great pleasure to be on your screen tonight, and it's a wonderful Tuesday evening from Liberia. If you're just joining us, we'd like to say welcome to the round table live on Wiz TV, and we coming to you live from Monrovia, Liberia. My name is William McGill. What is it we talking on tonight? Basically, we will look at the situation coming in from the Liberian Senate, where several staffers of the Liberian Senate complain about over 500 of the staffs they're complaining about a reported, Christmas period where they are not receiving their December salaries, and it's something serious, raising serious concerns about welfare and everything about these people. We will talk about that. You also have the opportunity to call the numbers that are on the screen, rolling in. You can call us on 086 3656 523652, right? And it's on WhatsApp as well. So we will talk about that, look into that, and see how we can discuss these issues as it unfolds. We definitely going to talk about a situation coming in from the Supreme Court. We will be very, very mindful as to how we discuss these situations because it's court related. We don't want to talk about situations from the court, and when we talk about these situations from the court, we have to be very, very careful as to how we talk about them, because if we're not mindful, we will get ourselves into some complications, and these are all legal processes that we want to be very mindful as to how we talk about them. So again, all you can do for us is to follow Wiz TV on Facebook, Wiz Online TV on Facebook as well, and Wiz TV on YouTube. We live on Facebook and YouTube, Wiz TV. So we will take this. I just want for you to look at it, right? It's something trending across our outlet. And let's look at this photograph. We got a couple of things before we jump into our talking points. Let's look at this. And I was just watching the wife of this speaker Cohen, who is currently on one of our sisters' platform talking about her issue of divorce in this situation. We will talk about that and look into how um, the situations unfold and plays on, and basically how we can be able to help look into everything of last week. If I can recall, there was a video circulating on social media where the advisor, political advisor to the current president Joseph Boycott, now spoke about her. Should I say spoke? But I think it was a confirmation of her relationship with the current Speaker of the 54th National Legislature, where she said they are into a relationship. I would drop that clip, and when I drop it, I just throw a little light, beat people thing. And when we get back to it, we talk about what's unfolding for our country, Liberia. So let's get Magdala Cooper.
And the senior political advisor to His Excellency Joseph Boakai, President Magdala Cooper. And the senior political advisor to His Excellency Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But also happy to be the spouse of the Speaker.
So you heard from the House's mouth, right? Earlier this year, we saw the speaker at the time. He was also in battle for the speakership. He was also battling his marital affairs, which is very personal, that we respect, and basically don't want to go in depth into or discussing these kind of situations. And after we got this confirmation on social media, and every news outlet, every blog, and everywhere took it, when the speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Speaker Reggie Nangbe Kum, was at the time touring places in the southeast, we saw that his fiance, as she claims, was also part of the tour. And basically, they've been in this together. Sorry for the feedback. Basically, in this together, and logically going on and on and on, right? And one thing that we basically always say is that this was something that was of speculations, and we just like to say compliments of the season to the Speaker of the 55th National Legislature and his lovely darling spouse. I hope that they have some quality time, some great time as they go about celebrating the festive season. Another troubling situations that I wanted us to look at is this situation that is also coming in from. Oh, did I went to video? I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want to go bit by bit, and then we can dive into our two talking points, right? So this is a situation that is coming in from Painesville, and we was able to lay our hands on this. Credit to Cool FM, Cool TV as well. I still went about bringing the situation into the spotlight, and we just want to make sure that we get a hold of it as we go into everything, and bit by bit we can be able to assure our followers that we are ready. So it's disturbing, right? I can't play that video because the video is very, very disturbing. Even if this was your sister, you get annoyed with this individual for what he did in the video. Out of her private parts, uh, you know, everywhere on up was being shown, and this is not the right way to treat a female. From the photograph you seen on the screen, this was how they treated this young lady, and I think police should be very, very professional. In as much as civilians will push you to anger, you should exhibit some sort of professionalism in how you carry on your professional activities and your workings as a police personnel. So we've gathered information that Armandus Sharif, I guess he should be from the Muslim background, either Mandingo or Fula ethnic group, true officer, and he's been accused of assaulting a pregnant lady, Louise Myers. You see that? He assaulted Louise Myers and her mother, Nancy Myers, during an attempted arrest today at Royal Plus Community in Painesville. So this was exactly what happened. The incident as seen in the video, which we will not play, but we will bring you the photo of what we can bring, left the pregnant woman injured and hospitalized at ELW, drawing public concerns over police conduct. When I say this, I got my colleagues who always say, "Oh no, you don't speak about the police in such a manner," right? We understand. We understand all of these things. We understand that we don't need to speak about these things of how the police operate in such a manner. Hmm? We understand. We understand all of these things. But again, as an officer of the law, in as much as you even have the greatest anger issue, let me say it this way, you should be professional. Exhibit some sort of professionalism. You're not going on a battlefront. You are not being sent to arrest an individual that has murdered somebody. And this is why one person who studies law, we were lecturing, a person says sometimes if you know these things and basically knows how to engage these police officer, a lot of them are not trained. That's exactly how I sat with them. I don't know the kind of criteria it takes for you to end up at the police academy, but I think uh, one thing that now should be embedded in how we can have police officers should be you should have studied criminal justice and know things that are within our constitution, that are within the law of our country. Hmm? Of course, according to the victim, Officer Sharif, who allegedly under the influence of alcohol, exactly, claimed he was asked by an unidentified individual to arrest Nancy Myers over an unresolved issue for weeks earlier. So this is a civil matter. In the first place, a civil. It's not a criminal case. It's not a murder case. So you can treat this case as compared to a criminal case or a murder case. A savor, something that happens between citizens and community dwellers and people of the same environment, is very savor. In fact, if you professional enough, that could have been something that could have been easily handled with care. Imagine if this reaches police IG Gregory Comer, you might get suspended. Imagine how many persons you will be suffering, your children, for how long the investigation will take as well. Because I know definitely once you get suspended, uh, Police Inspector General Gregory Comer will have to investigate the situation. So you've been sent by an unidentified person, probably because the person do have money to influence the arrest. Of course, yes, it happens. And a lot of these guys are not professional. You cannot come on duty as a professional security personnel and under the influence of alcohol. You can't. You can't. You under the influence of alcohol. You kind of, oh, I can't arrest you, and the person smells how drunk you are, and you bears the seals and the flag of our country. Tell me, tell me. So according to the victim, Officer Sharif, who allegedly under the influence of alcohol, claimed he was asked by an unidentified individual to arrest Nancy Myers over an unresolved issue for weeks earlier. Witnesses said the officer forcefully tried to take the mother into custody. Wow, already? And when her pregnant daughter intervened, he allegedly beat um, both women and stripped the pregnant woman naked during the assault. Of course, yes, he did that. Proofing in the video. Proofing in the video. He did that. Something that was vividly seen in this video that I've watched, that was being posted by Cool. So Nancy Myers said two officers were initially present, but the second officer left after the situation escalated. Yeah, the brother left because he never wanted to be involved. And openly claimed he was faced no consequences, prompting residents to call for an immediate investigation and accountability for police authorities. So this is exactly what happens. And when we tell these people that we need our officers to be professional, you got to be very professional as to how you carry on your duties. Be very professional. You know what I mean? You cannot leash your anger on somebody you goes to arrest. You can. As a professional person, you always have to maintain. You always have to carry on your duty in the right way. You have to. Exactly what you need to do. But we hope that the Liberia National Police can see this video and be able to basically go into it right. Another issue we got is members of the National Archives who have allegedly claimed that the national government, in its own wisdom, abandoned the National Archive, members of the National Archive. So let's listen to someone who spoke there from the National Archive. Let's listen. And yeah, our country, Liberia, We are heading somewhere great, but again, we have to put our heads together and be able to exhibit some level of confidence and professionalism, especially in our security sector. So let's listen to these guys from the National Archive, and yeah.
Of our president, His Excellency Joseph Boakai. This is why we are here. Let me be on record. This is the National Archive of Republic of Liberia. That is the nucleus of Liberia. Go. Everything that Liberia needs to reflect on the historicity how Liberia was built, we have it here. But the central government has forgotten about it. And we'll continue while who will speak. Listen, in the world will hear us. As we are gathered here today to light our candle, the celebration of Jesus Christ, who sacrificed. If you believe, you will believe. I know that we are missed people here. But I know there is God somewhere.
Always.
But your God is your God. As we are gathered here, let us be blessed.
Didn't hear a lot about how they have been abandoned, but he allegedly claimed that, the National Archive of the Republic of Liberia has been abandoned by the government of Liberia. And we have to take that into consideration, like he said in the video. And if I can backward this.
On the historicity, how Liberia was built, we have everything that Liberia needs to reflect on the historicity, how Liberia was built, we have it here.
So that's exactly the point I wanted to stress out, right? If you are a historian and studying history, or someone who wants to read a book about our country, Liberia, you basically have to, reach out to the National Archive and ask these guys about things that you see the archive in the museum. The museum do have exterior things that, let's say back in the days, meant a lot for us now to reflect our memories on. It's in the museum. Documents that we need to look at as to how our country Liberia was funded. We also have to go to the National Archive. So I think if this claim is true, which of course the director or deputy director will not come out vividly to spill speculations and say this. So Honorable Gabriel Doma, and doing all of the government agencies lighting Christmas trees, right? So again, right, like we said, the National Archive is somewhere that we all can reflect on. I think our government should be able to do this because we want the generation to come, the future generation to come, to be able to basically run out there and say, oh, yes, I can go to the National Archive and get any document I want. There's little or no information about our country if you want to get it. Of course, there is little or no information. Hear me and hear me clearly and hear me well. There is little or no information about our country, Liberia. There is little or no information. There is. And we have to be able to support the National Archive. The government should be able to do that. Yeah, the government should be able to do that. So I'll take a break on that, and let me say the president is also in Lofa County, where he will be celebrating his Christmas. And let me say Merry Christmas to all of you guys, and compliments of the season to everyone. Madam Julie Pewala is watching us. Jami Nusa is also watching us, and everyone watching this live both on YouTube and on Facebook. Would like to say thanks for coming on my Christmas on your Hope y'all getting my Christmas together, because we'll be here Christmas Day as well. And let's look at this, right? Um, there's this information coming in from the Liberian Senate. Hmm? Basically, I've been uh, putting in some calls to make sure that the information is true. All I can say is that the Senate um, needs to do better for its staffs. When I say this, I mean to say that the Liberian Senate needs to do better for its staffs, right? A lot of these people, imagine it's holiday season. Even if you aren't working, you have families that will always feel that since this is a month that we all feel is essential for sharing, is something that they expect of you. And these guys in the Liberian Senate who are staff, over 500 of them, left without pay for Christmas as salary, allegedly diverted to lobby for budget passage. So we saw members of the Senate last week. We spoke about this on Thursday, when members of the Liberian Senate were out there, basically focused on how to get 3, 4 different budgets passed in less than 10 minutes. Not just budgets, but concessions agreement. And like the likes of Clarence Guy, Representative Clarence Guy, I saw him over 1,500 bags of rice and a million plus Liberian dollars given in his districts. How do these guys? So how do these guys get these fundings? Is it exactly from their salaries, or do the Senate or the House of Representatives allot an extra budget for holidays? Those are questions we should be asking ourselves. These are people that go out there to work and serve our country, Liberia. Those are people, janitors, drivers, custodians in general. These are people, right? And our lawmakers go back to their constituents and share holidays things with these people. It's essential, it's good. Everybody wants to be happy this festive season. Even if you call me now, you can call on the show on WhatsApp, you call me and say, Well, I got your Christmas. Even if it's $1 trash card or $1 United States dollars, I'd be appreciative because you remember me and try to give. So more of people that have worked for their salary they should be earning. And we all know that normally people do receive salary, especially for holidays like July 26th and Christmas, ahead just maybe before the month ends. So basically, these guys are crying out loud, very loud. And they say, according to some of the staffers who spoke with us, they said that they allege that the distributor funds with their bosses to lobby for the speedy passage of the 2026 $1.2 billion budget for the country. And mind you, if this budget is not passed, the government in itself will not run smoothly because salary coming from the budget, road maintenance from this budget, and other things. And the government will have to fight hard to pass the budget to making sure that operation can run smoothly. Some of them said that they heard that the leadership of the Senate share the money on senators, for the passage of the budget. And some of them don't even know how they and their family will eat or even pay rent. When the year coming in Liberia is a very turns one for people who rent, right? You think you're on Christmas to give family right after Christmas. Maybe if your rent due January, you're thinking on how to pay for rent if you haven't planned properly. These are all constraints that people go through in our country in this thriving economy. And what the Senate said about this, there's no information yet. When you try to reach members of Ways and Means, the communication of the Senate, my boy Augustine Sahu just got appointed to that position. There's no or little information about this. So we're saying this to say that these people, even if it's tomorrow, let the central bank be able to disperse funding into their accounts. Let them have something on their table. Let them do. Let them basically have something on their table if this is proven enough that they haven't received their December salary. Of course, yes. Let them have it. Then we will understand that our country and our people and this government is doing something essential and great for its citizen. Do you know how constrained and constrained you will be? How much of a constraint you will be in? Sweet Liberia. Our country is sweet. If you haven't eaten authentic Tobogi, come to Liberia. That's all I can say. And yeah, but we hope and pray that the Senate, in its own wisdom, is a place of wisdom, we understand, can be able to do more and better and better and better and bigger for our people and for its staff to be able to get something. And basically, it's festive season, it's time of love, it's time of showing care and everything. And again, yes, so we've seen some lawmakers going back to their constituents 1,500 bag of rice and over $1 million Liberian dollar given to community members to celebrate the festive season. And we hope and pray that these people that have come out with their complaint about not receiving their salary can literally have access to their salary. Before I get into the whole Samuel Twe and his associates saga from their case, I would like to bring some reflection I like to bring some reflection from the capital building case, right? And this is something that earlier this year, we started following after the incident when it took a serious turn, and now we have individuals involved that are into some serious minor situation and whole lot of different hullabaloos with the situation. So let me bring this right about the situation, right? So they the case is at a point where we have juror now looking into the matter. So the defendants rest uh, after cross examination, right? And and this is what they had to say. According to the defense lawyer on Monday, right? He concluded that their cross examination of the prosecution first witness in the ongoing capital Alson trial at Criminal Court A on the Temple of Justice. So the witness investigator Raphael Wilson testified in person as proceedings continue in the high profile case. So, like I said, right, these are all uh, judicial situations. We don't want to go away and start to get ourselves involved into some judicial situation. So, during the trial, a juror asked the state witness to clarify the role played by co-defendant Jacob Debbie in the Alson attack, and investigator Wilson informed the court that on December 9, 2024, 2024, Debbie was part of a conspiracy that led to the burning of the Capitol building. This is what the witness said, not me. So, according to the investigator, the conspiracy was intended to disrupt legislative proceedings and involve a Plan B discussion that included co-defendant Abu Kamara. He stated that the discussion took place inside Kamara's HOR 15 double cabin vehicle. So the state's key witness further told the court and jury that co-defendant Davy, despite being a citizen and government official, was present in the vehicle when the discussion occurred and was directly referenced during the conversation. How did you know? The investigation indicates that he bears responsibility if his argument is that he did not know about what was referred to as Plan B or anything significant. Then it raises the question of what exactly that Plan B entailed. Investigator Wilson testified. So these are questions that the juror asked. In another development, juror J309715 questioned the witness regarding the location of a Chlorobacter matches. A juror noted that the witness appeared to state that the Chlorobacter was found in two separate locations on the second floor of the Capitol building and in the vicinity of the building, and asked whether this was accurate. Responding, investigator Wilson clarified that on the morning of Wednesday, December 18, 2024, investigator visited the Capitol grounds, which had been designated a place of interest. During a walkthrough of the compound, a chloride bottle that smells of gasoline was discovered approximately 25 feet from where the speaker's vehicle had initially been parked. The follow explained that on the same day, investigator accused the rotunda that accused by access rather accessed the rotunda as well as the first and second floor of the Capitol building. It was on the second floor that a box of matches was uncovered and collected as evidence. At no point, according to him, at no point in my testimony I state that the chloride bottle was found in two different locations. That's why investigator Wilson emphasized. When juror fellow asked whether the prosecution relies solely on videos, audios, recordings, and statements to link the defendants to the crime, the witness reiterated that the investigation also included geolocation data, call logs, and admission statements, which he said were sufficient to establish guilt. Okay. Another juror questioned the lack of physical evidence, noting that while the witness testified that it continued were used to burn the Capitol building, none were present in court. The jury also referenced the chloride bottle and matchbox, pointing out the state limitation in fingerprint analysis and asked what specific physical evidence tie the defendants to the crime. In response, investigator Wilson clarified that he had referred to pin cans not containing. Okay. So almost like hot and pull, hot and pull, and hot and pull. But let's get quick into our next talking points with Samuel Twe, one guy who former President George Weah chooses not to let go in his government. I remember, right? Like, it's a nice country, though. It came a point, people who voted to see George Weah was like, oh, you gotta get Samuel Twe off. Oh, we don't need Samuel Twe. Oh, and President Weah at the time chooses not to allow Mr. Twe leave. But a situation involving him with corruption scandal is out with several others, right? Twe and others ask Supreme Court to consider ruling cite misinterpretation of National Security Council Act. So a group of practitioners has filed for a re-argument before the Supreme Court of Liberia, challenging its December 18, 2025 ruling on a petition of a writ of prohibition. The petitioners argue that the court committed grave legal errors by misinterpreting key previous that's provisions of the 2011 National Security Council. In the filing, the petitioners claim that the Supreme Court erroneously relied on Section 2G of the NSC Act, which defines agents as operational personnel. They assert that the court ignored Section 3 of the same law, which clearly established the NSC as. So I don't want to go far with that, right? These are all legal cases, and I think the government of Liberia, the government of Liberia is doing splendid well. Let me be right with the kind of words I want to use. It's doing splendid well, right? In terms of what they want. Hmm? What they want. And how they chase these cases of corruption. How they chase these cases of corruption. Unless in the past that we saw little or no effort done. in terms of corrupt officials. But again, we've seen fewer of these cases being prosecuted to the letter. Fewer of these cases prosecuted to the letter. And the government itself needs to be vibrant, because this is one reason why I think the people of Liberia voted President Joseph Boakai vibrant enough to be able to prosecute whoever involved into corruption. Not just being involved, but that the government itself can be able to prove that these people are guilty. Again, we saw the issue with asset recovery. Asset recovery came with some zeal and zest and everything, and all of a sudden they had a case with the Gracious Rat, and it went solo. And we, at the time again, saw the asset recovery came out with few other persons of interest, like the legs of Finda Bono. I don't know if this is, some sort of strategy. I don't know. But we want something that would be very, very, you know, vigilant, not just vigilant. That's not the right one I want to use, but vibrant, and something that the government can push to the letter, that the LACC that is responsible for those kind of cases, that the Anti-Corruption Commission, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, can be able to prosecute these people, prosecute corrupt officials. We have to be able to set precedents. And I see the case with former finance minister Samuel Drag, and we all know how court cases drag for a longer time, right? But again, we should be as vigilant as we can be, and be able to make sure that these same people cannot come back to squander all of our resources as country. We do need them for the younger population, and we do need them for our country to progress. So we will stay closely follow the case with former finance minister Samuel Twerk closely, like we always doing on this show, and we can rest assured that we'll follow it to the letter as well. So basically, we have fewer time to leave, and one point I want to speak on quickly before we leave is we're seeing the president is telling us that, campaign time we heard that, oh, President Boakai he's not president. President Boakai, Joseph Boakai was fired or dismissed for corruption by a then interim president, the late Amos C. Sawyer. And this is something that President Boakai has said, that the information is false and cannot be proven. Yeah, that he was never involved into corruption. So it was some sort of, just situation made up to tarnish his reputation as someone who have worked in the public sector for over 45 plus years in government. So the president is currently in Lofa County, and making sure that the people of Lofa can have a perfect Christmas celebration with him. Yeah, we hope and pray that On Thursday, when we come here, we can have more conversation of how things will be. So again, we spoke about the over 500 staffers of the Senate not receiving their salaries ahead of Christmas, just within a day from now. And we also spoke about just a little jiggle on the case with former Finance Minister Summit. We want to be very uh, mindful as to how we speak about court cases, and we don't want to get into any situation with court situation. So it's a legal process, and we want to be very mindful as to how we speak about that. So we'd like to say thanks to all of you for always joining us on the shore. And Jamin Nuchusa says, keep up the good work. Madam Julie Pewala says she's watching, and she says, Merry Christmas to everyone. Yeah. We'll be on here Christmas Day, and we just open up the line and you just call us and we have some Christmas Day conversation. Thanks to everyone for coming on. My name is William McGill, and this is the Roundtable. Comes on every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 p.m. Liberia time, or better still, 5 p.m. the US time. Mr. Abu is unavailable for the show at this point, so I'm currently taking charge and making sure we can have the show running. Hopefully, a few days from now, we'll have a couple of guys joining us to make the show a better one. My name is William McGill. Thanks for joining us, and have a joyous Christmas, compliments of the season.